Well, hi, welcome to American Reversion. I'm Steve Smith. How are you all tonight? It's been a week. It's been a busy week. This is one that I've been wanting to make for about a week, and we've just been snowed under here. I'm sure you all are keeping up with at least some of what's going on in our country. It's not like we have to keep a daily tab on it because it's just the same old stuff. Every day we say, what else can they possibly think to do to ruin this country? And every day they come up with something new. So I suppose that it's no surprise. But what I've been thinking about and what I wanted to ask you all is concerns the presidential election of 2022. And of course, the one that's coming up right now in this November for the House and a third of the Senate is very important. And what happens with that is going to have a great bearing on, the presidential election in 2024. I did watch, and that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about, because I had asked before whether you all think that Trump should run, whether you thought he would, and whether you thought he should, which is two different questions. I have made the statement that I think he's going to, I made the statement that he is going to, just from something that he said. That's my opinion. Now, that still begs the question, should he? And my answer is yes, but you may have a different opinion, and I'd like to hear it. I watched his last rally. He had an exceptional finish. And I've been meaning to find that and put it up over on the Patreon channel, and when I get around to it, I will. But he had an exceptional finish, and I told Kelly that should be his finish from now on. That should be his finish for every rally that he gives from now on. But that brings us to the question of, what are the rallies going to be like? Are there going to be continuing rallies? And my thought is yes, there should be, and I hope that there are, and I have no reason to think that there won't be. But they're throwing everything in the world at him. And I've never seen somebody that could take so much and keep on going. But it never stops. It is not letting up. I mean, if it's not federal, now it's state out of New York. If it's not criminal, it's civil. How he's got enough money to pay for all the lawyers he needs is beyond me, but hopefully he's making the sales in Make America Great Again apparel. And of course, I don't have any idea what's going on behind the scenes, and any more than you all do. But I was talking to Kelly and thinking about what would be, when would he announce, if he announces. And you let me know your thoughts too. And then who should be his running mate, and some things that go into that. And I told Kelly, if it were up to me, I would not announce before this election, before the November election. Nor would I announce before they were sworn in January, because during that time, the Democrats are still in power. If he announced now, it could really draw out more of those who are against him to the polls, many of whom are kind of ducking and keeping quiet because they're so ashamed of what's going on in Washington, even from their own party and even from their own little dear Uncle Joe. It's hard for them to defend that. And I don't think that he should announce between the election and January, when the new House takes their seats, because that would just, while the Democrats are still in power, that would give them all sorts of cover to be able to pull whatever it is. And you can be sure, I mean, these people, they think up things that I would never think of. You know, obviously I'm not sneaky enough to be in politics. Maybe you all can think of them. I'm not calling you sneaky, but I'm saying maybe you're smarter than I am. But I wouldn't. I'd lay low. I'd keep fighting this stuff out. Now, probably, if the Republicans win majorities in both houses, you would think that the Democrats would start to pull in their horns. But you know, trying to guess what Democrats will do simply because it makes sense rarely works. He's going to be coming into a soft Senate, even if they take the Senate back. McConnell's still going to be there. So he's going to have a fight on his hand, and hopefully we'll get some good, strong Republican senators in there to kind of quell McConnell down and make him think that maybe he just ought to retire while he's still in there. And there probably should be some federal investigations into McConnell while he's still in office, if he still stays in office. And I hope that they do that, his little deals with China. So if I were Trump, I would announce right after the Republicans take their seats. I'd give it about a week, you know, let them have all their press conferences out there, and then I'd announce. And that would, I think, pull the energy into one large package of a new Republican House and Senate, and Trump saying that he's coming back. Now, many of you out there may not be Trump fans. I understand that, and I understand the reasons for it. I do. Many of you are perhaps DeSantis fans. I'm also a DeSantis fan. I like him a lot. But as I think about maybe what should, you know, go on in the next few election cycles, I hate to lose DeSantis as a governor of Florida. But we need to look at what would give. I don't want to see a Republican primary to where they're beating each other up for 6 months. And then all of a sudden coming back together as so-called friends, you know. That doesn't work. It looks bad. It looks bad to the American people. It shows that politics is just all a sham. And while politics may be a sham, they shouldn't show it. You know, if they want to get elected. And I think having a Republican majority is important. And like I say, it's not that they're the savior. They're just taking us the same place slower, but then it gives us more time to fight in the primaries and try to fight for a more conservative, you know, House and Senate from the Republican side. So as much as I would hate to lose DeSantis in Florida, because he is strong, he's doing things a lot, you know, he's a polite Trump in many ways, right? At first, I had my doubts. I thought he was just going to be another Mike Pence, you know, seemingly solid and good and all this. And then when it comes right down to it, not a fighter. But I don't think so. I think there's more to him than that. So I would think of a good ticket for 2024 as Trump DeSantis. Now, there are other good picks out there. He could go with Kristi Noem, which would be great. The problem there that I see, now, I'm just taking this out several cycles. The problem that I see would then, after Trump's next term, Noem would be the one obviously in line to head the ticket after that next term. And as much as I like her, and as much as being a woman would work on her behalf, and it might finally get that slice of suburban women that throw all of the elections to the Democrats, maybe it would get them, maybe it would work. But long term, and then I see, what about DeSantis? Where's DeSantis? And I think DeSantis is close to the height of his best. So what I would see is a Trump-DeSantis ticket, and then after that one term, DeSantis-Noem for 2, and then a Noem, whoever. We have no idea who might be the right one. Now, that's assuming that these people don't, break down like a cheap shotgun and all of a sudden reveal that they're different than they've made themselves out to be, and we believe them to be. But, you don't have any guarantees about that. Anyway, this is just kind of what I was discussing with Kelly and playing around with. I think he's going to run. I will certainly support him if he does. I hope that there's not a big bloody primary. I think that, let me back it up. I think that the Republicans will take the House and the Senate back. I caution people to be too optimistic about that because we've seen the kind of dirty tricks that can be pulled. And I'm not sure how much energy there is. I think the disgust factor is so large on the Republican side that I'm afraid of a light turnout. We will see. So that being said, what I project, what I would, if I could write the script, I would write it that the Republicans take back the House and the Senate, that Trump announce soon after they take their seats in January that he will have a lot of people. If they win, he will have a lot of Congress owing him. And he'll come back in with some smarts that he didn't have before, I think, about how deep the swamp is and what kind of critters are in there and how to find them and how to get them out. Hopefully the Republicans won't prove to be the wusses that they've been in the past, and they will go after these people who should be investigated and indicted and prosecuted and thrown in jail. I don't have much hope on that, but if I hope, that's what I hope for. And then that there would be a good working together among the MAGA crowd. And that doesn't mean Trump. That means everybody who's on that page that want to square this country away. And that includes DeSantis, it includes Noem, it includes all these people. It includes Tulsi Gabbard, who may not agree with us on some things, but she is certainly against most of the things that the Democrats are doing. Maybe someday she'll get right on those couple of issues that she's wrong about and come join us, right? We can hope again, hope. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say here. I'm interested to hear what you all have to say about it. What do you think? We're going to see the first step here in about a month and a half, so it was not far off. But anyway, remember, America needs a reversion. It needs you to be a part of it. It needs me to be a part of it. It needs us out there talking about it and doing something about it. I have been doing things about it. That's kind of what that's kept me off of these videos for a week, but I'll get back at it. So you all have a good night. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.